What's going on, everyone? Hello, 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 hello. I can't see if you're here. If you're here, welcome. If you're not, welcome. Can't see anyone yet. I have to pull up the thing. All right, there we go. How's everyone doing? What's going on, everyone? Turn that off. Shit. How's everyone doing this evening? John, what's going on? Today was rough. Although that's every day, right? You know, that's every day. That's pretty much every day. Let me see. What's going on? How's everyone doing? Guys, couple things. Consider becoming a member of the channel before we get a bunch of people in here. Loyal supporters, consider becoming members of the channel. Okay? Especially loyal supporters. Need the support for YouTube as well. Trying to grow the YouTubes. Giving myself a year to try and get the YouTubes going and create a big live stream over here. We don't know what's going to happen with TikTok. Like I said, TikTok could be in the mix. I could end up doing TikTok like along with YouTube in the future if TikTok sells to somebody that's not gonna like censor speech or push Trump or anything like that. You might see me at some point back on there, but that entirely depends on when it gets out of Trump's hands, if it gets out of Trump's hands. We don't know if it's going to get out of Trump hands or not, but a lot of people keep asking me, are you coming back to TikTok? Are you coming back to TikTok? Guys, here's how you got to look at it. Expect to not see me for a few months on TikTok. All right, I'm only going to be on YouTube. I don't know what's happening with TikTok, right? But Trump is in control of it right now. So I'm not going back until his little greasy paws, his little, and I emphasize little, fucking hands are off my damn TikTok. If he gets his greasy paws off it, yeah, I'll come back. If he doesn't, no. But one thing I will clarify for everyone here. I will never, ever, ever just be streaming on TikTok again. So, like, YouTube is going to be one of, my dominant platform now. YouTube and that's the way it's going to be. One of, period. I see Radical posted the Twitch in there. Yeah, you guys can watch me on Twitch too if you want. You're totally allowed to watch me on Twitch. I'm actually almost close to becoming an affiliate on Twitch because of the amount of time that I stream. So yeah, if you guys want to watch on Twitch, you certainly are allowed to do that, but YouTube is really where I want, is where I'm trying to drive it home. I'm literally just streaming on Twitch to become an affiliate. That's why I am. So if you guys want to come over to YouTube, you can. Somebody said, dang, how long have you been on? I just got on. To the people saying I miss you on TikTok, guys, look, TikTok is probably gonna die. Like, I hate to say this to you, you really should get used to not watching TikTok anymore because Trump and JD Vance is in control of negotiating TikTok. Okay, so the likelihood that TikTok is here this time next year are not good. Yes, views do help on Twitch. Yes, I have to have like a certain number of consistent viewers. So if you guys all just want to open up Twitch in the background and just watch me in the background on Twitch and mute it, I would really appreciate that. I really would. I just don't want to like force people to do things, besides on YouTube. I don't want to force you to do something else besides coming over here. So TikTok, that's what I'll say about that. I don't know where it's going, guys. I don't know what's in store for the future. I don't know. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll take it month by month. Hey, maybe 2 months from now, we'll find out that TikTok sold to Microsoft. And guess what? I'll go back, I'll stream on TikTok, right? But I'm not streaming on TikTok and only TikTok ever again. It's going to be YouTube. It's going to be this type of format. It's going to be, sometimes I'll debate, right? But I'm going to debate on here. So it's not really going to change too much from what I'm doing. So trying to build something over on YouTube. YouTube's the platform I'm really trying to build along with Substack. Substack and YouTube are the two platforms I'm trying to build. So if you really want to support me, become a subscriber on Substack and become a member on YouTube. contribute to the gifting goals, do all those things. All right. Well, thank you, Laura Shockley. I appreciate it. So we have a lot going on. A lot of crazy shit. Don't mean to curse, but the stuff going on with the Ukraine situation, I think is probably one of the most dangerous things our country has ever seen since World War II. I think we're putting ourselves in a position where we're essentially now on the side of Russia. People, we're the bad guy. That doesn't feel good. That does not feel good. It really doesn't. Especially when you know what Vladimir Putin is about. I don't know if you guys... Who saw my Substack post today about twisting so much a pretzel would be jealous? Who saw my Substack today about twisting so much a pretzel would be jealous?
Next Wednesday.
Right? I don't know if anyone saw it, but make this make sense for me, people. And guys, I wasn't going to come on tonight, but I did. A lot of people were asking. I would appreciate if we hit the thumbs up and all that. Let me say this. Do you know... What's up, Deb? Sorry, I got to adjust this really quick. So make this make sense for me, right? Vladimir Putin, who's well known for making people disappear, his political opponents, right, is being defended by Donald Trump, while simultaneously Donald Trump calls Ukraine president, who was democratically elected, a dictator. Make that make sense. No lip, I'll give her some free filler for that lip. I know, people seem to hate this press secretary. I don't watch her, I read my news. So
February 26th.
It says a lot to do with the controversy about calling him a dictator, which is not really a controversy. It's just an authoritarian defending an authoritarian. Damn, this really sucks, doesn't it? Like, we're really, quite literally, watching the fall of the United States of America. You know, it's just hard. It's hard to... I don't know. It's hard to swallow. You know, I was telling Autumn, remember when I told you, it's real? Isn't it crazy how people are just living their lives like nothing is happening? Like, people are just going about their life like nothing else is going on. Like, we're not watching. I mean, look, it's a great movie if you weren't actually in it. This would be a great movie if we weren't unwilling participants. You know? This would be a hell of a movie if we weren't unwilling participants. Unfortunately, we're being sucked in to this movie.
4 weeks, President Trump has already hosted the leaders of Israel, Japan, next Wednesday, February 26th. In just 4 weeks, President Trump has already hosted the leaders of Israel, Japan, Jordan, and India. And next Monday, the president will host France's President Emmanuel Macron. And on Thursday, the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer will visit the White House as well. As you all know, over the past month, the president has taken questions from the press, all of you, nearly every single day, sometimes on multiple different occasions in the same day, on any topic any of you wish to talk about. President Trump set the tone on this approach immediately when he took more than 12 times the questions in his first few hours in office.
But he doesn't answer them. He doesn't answer the questions, though. He just goes, well, that's what they're saying. Like, it's just he doesn't answer them. I don't give a shit how many questions you let them ask. If you don't answer them, it doesn't count.
As Joe Biden did in his entire first week. Yesterday, we hosted a local media row here at the White House with television and radio stations from across the country that reached up to 60 million viewers and listeners. In our ongoing pursuit of transparency on this 1 month celebration, I am thrilled to bring 3 of my colleagues and our policy experts here at the White House to further recap this incredible first month of accomplishments in greater detail. We have Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, the director of the National Economic Council, Kevin Hassett, and our National Security Advisor, Mike Waltz. I will hand it over to them. They will deliver brief remarks on the accomplishments of this administration in the first month, and then we will open it up to Q&A. When we open up the Q&A portion, I do ask, for the sake of efficiency in this room, that you direct your question to the principal you seek an answer from, and I will call on you in this room. But first, I will let them roll through their remarks, and first up, I'll turn it over to Stephen Miller.
Thank you. It's great to be back. And I want to just thank you all for joining today, our 1-month celebration of the most historic opening to a presidency in American history. No president comes close to what Donald Trump has achieved over just the last 30 days. He has packed 8 years of transformative action, restoring this nation, restoring our laws, restoring fairness, restoring economic opportunity, restoring national security in just 1 month. No one in this country has ever seen anything like it. And when you look at the consequentiality and the significance and the transformative nature of the actions he's taking, it truly defies description. For example, in just one area, this nation has been plagued and crippled by illegal discrimination, diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. It's strangled our economy, it has undermined public safety, it has made every aspect of life more difficult, more painful, and less safe. He has ended all DEI across the federal government. He has terminated all federal workers involved in promulgating these unlawful policies. He has ended diversity, equity, and inclusion in all federal contracting. He has restored merit as the cornerstone of all federal policy, restored the full, fair, impartial enforcement of our federal civil rights laws for the first time in generations. And he has cracked down on individuals across this government and nonprofits who have engaged in illegal racial discrimination against the American people. This includes making clear to every educational institution in this country that ending diversity, equity, and inclusion, ending unlawful race discrimination is a precondition of receiving federal funds.
What's up, CCP? Guys, I do have a goal up there for Super Chats. There's 15 of them. I would appreciate Super Chatting. I would appreciate becoming a member of the channel.
He has also saved women's sports by ending the participation of men in women's sports. He has ended radical gender ideology across the entire federal government, and he's pressured the private sector to also end and combat radical gender ideology. He's reestablished the scientific and biological truth that there are only 2 sexes in this country, male and female, that those are biologically based determinations. They are not based and can never be based on gender identity. That includes rooting out of the Department of Defense all DEI policies, all critical race theory, all gender madness, and once again having a military that is focused solely and exclusively on readiness, preparedness, and lethality. As I'm sure Kevin will talk about more, of course, he has undertaken a historic cost-cutting effort across the federal government, launching the first ever Department of Government Efficiency, uncovering corruption on a scale that we never thought imaginable, terminating every single federal worker that we have found to be engaged in the corruption and theft and the waste of taxpayer dollars, and already saving $50 billion in a single year, which over a 10-year period would be $500 billion. Just think about how vast and enormous that sum is. Of course, as you all know, he has renamed the Gulf of Mexico to its correct and proper name, the Gulf of America. He has renamed Mount Denali into Mount McKinley, part of a historic effort to restore patriotism and national pride all across this land. He has ended the weaponization of the federal government, restored the Department of Justice to its true mission of combating threats to this nation and keeping the American people safe. He has ended all federal censorship of free speech. This has been one of the greatest crises that has plagued this nation. Years and years and years of the federal government violating the First Amendment to take away Americans' right of free speech. President Trump has ended that, and he has demanded that all federal workers, all law enforcement, cease any effort.
Sorry about that, everyone. Had a knock at the door. Sorry about that.
To intimidate the rights of Americans or to police their speech. He has also restored the death penalty at the Department of Justice.
Let me thank a couple people here. Will Hessler, thank you for the $9.99, Will. Seriously, thank you, Will. Is that a talking hemorrhoid in a brown suit? Looks like it, Will. Looks like it. Laura, thank you so much. As Trump has killed democracy. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Laura. I agree with you 100%, Laura. Democracy is, in fact, dead in the United States, unfortunately. And the sad part is I don't know if it can be restored.
Including for illegal aliens who commit murder, including for those who murder cops, and including for all of those who threaten Americans with...
Nope, I allow freedom of speech in my chat, as long as we're not insulting people.
Heinous acts of violence. The death...
I mean, you can insult Republicans, but, I mean, you can't insult my supporters, basically. That's the rule. Deal with it.
Penalty is back. Law and order is back. The streets are being made safe once again. On the public health front, he has launched the nation's first ever commission, the MAHA Commission, Make America Healthy Again.
The funny thing is, like, Republicans want my YouTube and my TikTok and all my chats and stuff to be a democracy, right? But they don't want their country to be a democracy. They're like, what about free speech? What is this, a dictatorship in here? All I did was call them a damn... They're concerned whether or not my fucking content, like my lives, are a dictatorship, but not the country. Okay, Muppets.
Following the historic confirmation of RFK Jr., to finally uncover the true root causes of the public health crisis in this country, the childhood disease epidemic in this country, the spiraling rates of pediatric cancer, and devastating childhood sickness. He has finally created a situation where the federal health agencies in this country will be focused on preventing disease, on keeping children from getting sick in the first place, not sending them to a lifetime in and out of hospitals, suffering needlessly, when we can find ways to prevent this epidemic of illness.
Oh, so you're not going to undermine any medicine, any medical procedures, anything we do to help children once they do get sick, right? These guys think that children need to get closer to God and they won't get leukemia and shit. I'm not even kidding. Quackum, thank you so much for becoming a tadpole. Appreciate you. I'm dead serious. These clowns literally think it's about spirituality. When it comes to like depression, anxiety, things like that. Guys, we need to we it's hard to even get it out. It's so fucking stupid. Depression is about spirituality, RFK says. These people need to get closer to God. You got to be shitting me.
Then, of course, on Homeland Security. Today, it is officially the law of the land at the conclusion of the congressional notification...
I know exactly why this guy's a fucking angry-ass Republican. What's up, Amy?
...process that 6 Mexican cartels and 2 transnational gangs, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, and MS-13, so 8 organizations in total, are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be...
All right, let me hear that again. I'm sorry.
Cartels. Today, it is officially the law of the land.
By the way, do you guys like my Saturday Night Live shirt? It's Saturday Night Live! I wish I was on Saturday Night Live.
At the conclusion of the congressional notification process, that 6 Mexican cartels and 2 transnational gangs, Tren de Aragua, or TDA, and MS-13, so 8 organizations in total, are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be treated as...
Language is important, sorry.
So 8 organizations in total are now formally designated as foreign terrorist organizations, which means that every single member of those organizations who operates on U.S. soil is now, as a legal matter, a terrorist, and they will be...
And so I'm just curious, like, how are we going to determine membership status? That's where my mind goes immediately. How are we going to determine membership status? Are we just going to start accusing undocumented immigrants of being terrorists now? Because that's where I think this is headed.
Be treated as terrorists. This is a sea change in U.S. policy. And this means the Department of Justice and the Department of Homeland Security, along with the rest of U.S. law enforcement and the Department of Defense, are now operating in a legal reality where these cartels are recognized as terrorists. And there will be a whole of government effort to remove these terrorists from our soil and to degrade their ability to threaten or undermine any American security or sovereignty interests. Border crossings, since the day he took office, are down 95%. I think it's almost impossible to even describe the scale and scope of that achievement. President Trump, within days of taking office, cut border crossings 95%. And those few who have dared to cross are being either prosecuted or deported. They're either facing significant jail time for trafficking, smuggling, harboring, aiding, impeding, or they're being immediately removed from our soil. Either way, at the end of the process, they are going home. He's re-implemented Remain in Mexico, and he has obtained historic cooperation from foreign countries all around the world in accepting their deportees back. And he has used the United States military to fully seal the southern border with a historic deployment of both active duty and National Guard troops, resumed the building of infrastructure, he has opened up Guantanamo Bay, and he's using military aircraft to carry out deportations all across this country. And ICE is joining with ATF, DEA, and FBI to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. The criminals are going home. The border is sealed shut. America is safe, sovereign, proud, and free. We are a nation that everyone in the world understands all across this planet. You do not come here illegally. You will not get in. You will go to jail. You will go home. You will not succeed. This is the biggest and most successful change in any area of law enforcement that this nation has ever seen, and he did it in under 1 month. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Stephen. One of the things that President Trump cares most about is job creation, and it was about 7 years ago.
I apologize, everyone. I'm just being bothered tonight a lot, I guess.
I had the honor of joining you in this room for the first time, and it looks like we've created a lot more jobs in the last month. Look at how many people are here. My estimate is about 180, but I didn't count. So thank you. It's really an honor to be back here. I think that I just want...
This guy has a two-way mirror in his house, 100%.
To go over a few things and then hand it off to Mike. The first thing is that the president has told us to prioritize fighting inflation. And he had to do that because, as you know, President Biden let inflation get completely out of control. And he did it with policies that made no sense. They made no sense. A lot of times people say to us, our friends the journalists, why are you doing that? But I like to think, why did they do that? Why did they spend so much money? And then why did the Fed print so much money so that we had inflation as high as we've ever seen since Jimmy Carter? So why did they do that? So we're addressing inflation. We didn't have to address it in the first term because it was always in the ones, almost always. But we're going to get it back there. And how are we doing it? Well, we're doing it with a plan that President Trump and I and others have talked about in the Oval that involves like every level of fighting inflation. First, the macroeconomic level. We're cutting spending. We're cutting spending in negotiations with people on the Hill. We're cutting spending with the advice of our IT
This is the way they want it. This is their normal, you see?
consultant, Elon Musk. And then we're also looking into supply side things, like restoring Trump's tax cuts, maybe even expensing new factories so that there's an explosion of supply. If you have an explosion of supply and a reduction in government demand, then inflation goes way down. And then one of the things that you want to say is, well, when are you going to see it? Well, the first thing that you'll see when the markets believe that we're going to get inflation under control is that the 10-year Treasury rate goes down, because that's how they think about future expected inflation. And so we're still going to see some memory of Biden's inflation. It's not going to go away in a month.
Yeah, well, whoa. That's not what you told us before. You said it was going to go away in a day. Don't tell me it's not going to go away in a month. Look how quickly... Republicans, are you not mad that you were just like straight up fucking lied to? And I told you a million times, right, that it is a spectacular level of stupid it requires to fall for the lies.
But the 10-year Treasury before the last consumer price index...
Ashley, we got some Muppets in here talking shit to me. They're over here watching me because they know I'm their daddy, right? I entertain them more than anyone they could watch. That's why Republicans watch me. They don't watch Fox News. They watch me. They know who the king is. They know who their king is. It's not Trump. Coy, shut your mouth, all right? Your mother's not here. Ashley Good, thank you for the 5 memberships, Ashley Good. Ashley Good, thank you for the 5 memberships, Ashley Good. Seriously, thank you, Ashley. Let me tell the people who got a free membership here. Amy, you were gifted a membership. Amy Tripp, you were gifted a membership by Ashley Good. Tiffany Joyner, you were gifted one. Gretchen, you were gifted one. Carly, you were gifted one. Amanda Sanchez, you were gifted one. W. Ashley.
It dropped about 40 basis points. 40 basis.
Coy, you know I'm your king, right? You came here to watch Daddy Adam, right? You came here to watch your daddy, right? You came here to watch me. You know who the king is. It's not Trump. It's me. Now, sit back, relax, and watch the show, my son.
Basis points because markets were optimistic about our ability to fight inflation. 40 basis points is kind of not a fun thing to say. Economists talk that way. I apologize. But the way to think about it is for a typical mortgage, if that affects the mortgage rate, then it's going to save a typical family buying a house about $1,000 a year. And that's just in our first month. Okay. The second thing we've done is we've had a lot of trade talks. In fact, I was just meeting a minister from Mexico with Howard Lutnick.
Yeah. So anyways, what I was saying is these guys are just angry because they fell for like the trick that inflation was going to go down. They literally thought it was good. They thought prices were going to go down day one. Oh, God, the level of stupid that requires. Oh, my God, the level of stupid. To fall for that, the level of stupid that it requires for you to think prices were going to fall on day one is hilarious. So I want to tell you this, MAGA, from the bottom of my heart, right? I'm laughing at you. Yes, the country is burning, but I'm still laughing at you. I will always laugh at you.
Just a couple of hours ago. And we're talking about reciprocal trade, and we're also talking about...
Prices are going up significantly. Inflation's going up.
The fentanyl crisis.
I will forever laugh at their incompetence.
And so reciprocal trade is about our government treating other governments the way they treat us. We want trade to be fair. It turns out that Americans have been disadvantaged by foreign governments over and over.
No, they're not embarrassed, you know? They're not intelligent enough to be embarrassed. To be embarrassed, they would have to be able to think critically. Remember we talked about being able to analyze your position, right? Actually sitting back and going, am I a goofball? Did I really fall for the fact that I thought my prices were going to go down day one? Donald Trump was going to create world peace? Oh my God. The level of stupid to fall for this. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Many of you voted for him 3 times. It's a spectacular level of stupid. I'm sorry.
Over, and President Trump wants it to stop. And the fact that struck me...
It was Ashley Good who gave you that membership, Carly.
As most noticeable when I started to look at what President Trump was asking us to do is that last year we have data, U.S. companies paid $370 billion in taxes.
Like, and they act like I wouldn't be honest. If I thought Donald Trump was doing shit that was good, if I thought Donald Trump legitimately wanted to slash prices, if I thought Donald Trump legitimately wanted to rid the government of corruption, I would be a Trump supporter. You know why I'm not a Trump supporter? Or I would at least support that end of war. At least that end of war. But I don't, do I? Why? Because that's not what he's actually doing. He's a liar. He lies to you. Okay? And you fall for it because you're gullible.
To foreign governments. $370 billion. Last year, foreign multinationals paid us $57 billion in taxes. We have 1/4 of world GDP. They have 3/4 of world GDP, and we're paying $370. They're paying $57.
I don't care.
This is not.
Do you understand? Like, here's the thing. I have to learn this with you. I don't care. I have to learn this with you, but I don't care. No, let him talk. I don't give a shit. What he's saying is not true. All right, here's the thing. Fuzz, here's what I'll do for you. Ready? If you can prove to me you pay less for eggs than you did under the Biden administration, I will say sorry to you publicly. Prove to me that you're actively paying less for eggs right now than you were under Biden, and I promise you, I will get on live and I will say I apologize. I was wrong. Proud Gay Boy Dragon, you can just fast forward the live if you're 27 minutes behind. You just have to hit the live button or just move the little, cursor all the way to the front. You don't have to be behind.
We're going to try, or we're going to, fix it.
I don't care. Just let him talk. Who cares? It's funny. What he's saying is not true.
The other thing
prices are up.
That we've done is we've had an all-of-the-above energy approach that's led by Doug Burgum and Chris and a really large team, EPA. And we've already made so many actions that are going to affect the price of energy and lower inflation. We've opened up 625 million acres to energy exploration. We've cut.
Oh, now he said he has chickens, so that's why his eggs are cheaper? What a cop-out.
50 years of red tape that makes it so you can't have permits. And
I said it. You watch videos from Republicans about this whole DOGE and the auditing and everything, and they will literally say, I love it because the government's corrupt and they've been screwing me over for years, right? That's the response. The typical Republican says, well, they've been screwing me over for years. I've been getting screwed over for years. So, yeah, I'm happy that the government is dealing with this, right? They don't actually look into whether or not they're accomplishing that goal. They don't care about receipts. That's why we said it's just Trump was a hand grenade for many of these people who just don't like the government. Throw him in there and let him destroy the whole thing. They don't care. They're reckless. There will come a day where every single person who voted for Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance, that ticket, will regret it. That day will come. It's not here now. It may not even happen under this administration. But there'll be a day when it's all burning and we know it's actually over, we're done. That day. It may be minutes before, but they will regret it. Don't expect that to happen now. That's not going to happen now. They're not going to be like, oh, I regret my vote because of this policy or because DOGE is hiring shit posters from Twitter to conduct audits when they're not auditors. That's not going to happen. But when it's actually burning down, whether they admit it or not, they will have a day where they go, shouldn't have voted for him. Laura, thank you for the $5, says Killer Fuzz only chokes the chicken. His chicken, yes. Guys, thank you so much, Laura, for the $5. Guys, I'd appreciate trying to complete the gifting goal. I think we have 17 minutes left to complete it. Let's go.
We've even made it so that when you go home, if you get a new one, then you can take a shower or flush a toilet or read under a light bulb. We're doing that too. So finally, let's just think about the facts that we can see right now.
What have you been missing?
Let's think about the facts. Dork.
President. We do have somebody in our new media seat today. We have John Stoll, who is the head of news at X. As you all know, you're all on X. It's home to hundreds.
Did you guys see Hegseth kicked CNN and all of those organizations out of the Pentagon too? So I'll pull it up here while we're listening to this. And then they basically showed a picture of the office, right? And one of the CNN employees was like, hey, a lot of great CNN people, they worked out of a little office in the Pentagon. You know, when they're covering the wars and all those things. They work out of a little office inside the Pentagon. And Matt Gaetz reposts the picture and says, hey, that's where we are now. Matt Gaetz works for fucking OAN? I didn't even know that. That figures that Muppet would be on OAN.
Hundreds of millions of users, a large contingent of independent journalists and news organizations across geographies and political spectrums. And at the same time, X remains the go-to platform for many legacy news outlets. And I know, as I mentioned, many of the reporters in this room use X to attract eyeballs to your work. Prior to joining X, John spent 2 decades in journalism, including several years as an editor at the Wall Street Journal. We are excited to have him in the briefing room today. John, we'll let you kick it off. And as I said at the top, please direct your question to the individual up here who you'd like an answer from. John, why don't you begin?
All right, thank you very much. I am sitting in for a thriving ecosystem of journalists, independent and emerging news organizations who do depend on X for publicity, for a business model. And so I look forward to seeing many of them in this seat in months and years to come. I also thank you, Caroline, for opening this seat up to new media. It really is a testament not only to your open-mindedness, but also to innovation, that you'd actually think about, folks that are not traditionally credentialed to be in this room, and not only have a question, but also to witness. This is a very important intersection of power and the free press. And so just the ability to witness this and be part of it, it brings everybody's game up. So thank you for that. I think this is for Mike Waltz. My question is about Ukraine.
Sure.
For about more than 10 years, I've been fascinated, like many, with what's going on. Was in Northern Europe, working out of the Baltics when Crimea was annexed, and was a lot of this came on Twitter. The platform used to be known as Twitter. Was a lot of European leaders would talk about their disappointment and solidarity with Ukraine, but when it came to actually doing something, it felt like they were passing a hot potato and sent it over the Atlantic. I wonder how much of what we're seeing right now out of the administration of President Trump is a call to Europe and the European leaders and the allies that we've traditionally had to pick up that hot potato and start doing something a little bit more concrete to win and preserve the peace in Ukraine. The second question I have is, it's related, is there's been a lot of speculation that President Trump and the administration might be manipulating.
Sorry, everybody. For some reason, this thing will not let me go up and down again. OBS fucking glitches sometimes and doesn't let me scroll down, so I can't see it. Anyway, let's go on. He's clearly not answering the question. So this is obviously the bigger thing that I want to talk about that I think is so incredibly significant and should be scaring the crap out of the American people. And it is Donald Trump's support of Vladimir Putin and his attack on Zelensky.
Republican Party's complete capitulation to Trump's most...
This is the beginning of the end right here. Our position geopolitically, this is the beginning of the end.
Dangerous and anti-democratic impulses. Their acquiescence to Trump this week as he parrots Putin's lies about Ukrainian President Zelensky is all you need to take in. Donald Trump openly musing that Ukraine, not Russia, started the war in Ukraine, calling President Zelensky an unelected dictator, casually undoing nearly a century.
Imagine calling Zelensky a dictator and supporting Putin, who's responsible for unaliving his political opponents. We've absolutely lost the plot. But I hate to say this. I did say this would happen. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it. These guys have a relationship. Donald Trump and Putin have a relationship. They're close. They're buddies. I think Putin probably has something on him, whether it's financial or otherwise. Could be pictures of him getting urinated on. That's the rumor. That's the rumor, according to some inside sources. But whatever it is, it's something significant because this doesn't make any sense strategically. There has to be some kind of benefit.
Of American foreign policy, that has not led to a stampede of Republicans demanding an audience with the president at the White House to try to persuade Trump or Vance or anybody else that Zelensky is the true American ally. Or as Lindsey Graham said to Zelensky 6 years ago to his face, quote, the best kind of ally for fighting Russia so we don't have to, end quote, tells you everything. As the cover of The Economist puts it, this is, quote, Europe's worst nightmare.
I wonder what kind of things they're saying behind the scenes. Like, what do you think these other countries are saying? I don't sleep well at night, people. I will tell you, I'm not sleeping well. I've been sleeping pretty poorly. Thinking about what other countries are saying about what we're doing. Leaders of other countries. We're the same country that stormed the beaches of Normandy to liberate Europe. Now we're turning our back on them. Makes no sense. We're not going to have a seat at the table when this is said and done.
And it may become America's worst nightmare as well, quickly. Americans have gotten very clear very fast on how they feel about it. 61% of all Americans disagree with Trump's version of events, which is a lie. They understand that, no, it was Russia that actually started the war. 81% of Americans say Putin should not be trusted, including a whopping 73% of all Republicans. And yet, even with this sudden burst of Americans saying, no, thank you, we don't want this, we didn't.
Guys, can we try and complete this gifting goal? We have 9 minutes left. We can still do it.
For this.
If you guys would like to support the content, would appreciate it.
Trump and his administration show no signs of reconsidering.
By the way, can I just say I love her? I absolutely love her. Why can't I, I need to find someone, seriously, this, I love her. I love her attitude. I love everything she says. In my opinion, this is one of the few people in media I have respect for.
Throwing Ukraine under the bus and driving America off a diplomatic cliff. Reuters is reporting that the U.S., quote, is refusing to co-sponsor a draft UN resolution marking 3 years since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. That resolution backs Ukraine's territorial integrity and again demands Russia withdraw its troops, two sources.
Why can't I have 6 of her on a news station and literally take over media? You could throw a little Joy Reid in there too, as a matter of fact.
Is telling Reuters this, quote, Washington has also objected to a phrase in a statement the group of 7 nations was planning to issue next week that would condemn Russian aggression. Let that sink in. Today, Trump's national security advisor.
She takes it to them. She takes it to them.
Advisor warned Zelensky and Ukraine to, quote, tone it down. J.D. Vance said out loud.
I don't think Joy's going to be jealous. I'm mutuals with Joy Reid. She used to watch the live on TikTok.
Out, quote, I really believe we're on the cusp of peace in Europe, end quote. And then there was the abrupt and unexplained cancellation of what was supposed to be a joint press conference following a meeting between Ukrainian President Zelensky and Trump's U.S. envoy to Ukraine, a meeting in which they were meant to discuss paths to ending the war that would safeguard Ukraine's interest.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think we'd be here today without the media. I think the media put us in this position. I think the media did this to us.
There was also
we're going to miss the goal.
The hope that it might help diffuse tensions. It was scrapped. Whether any progress was made remains unclear. A news conference scheduled for after the meeting was canceled at the request of the U.S. Reporters who had gathered for the news conference were told to go home. Washington Post is reporting that as Zelensky and the U.S. envoy stood together, not for a press conference, but a photo op, quote, as the cameras clicked around the two men, Zelensky responded to the question on how he was doing by describing himself in a, quote, fighting spirit. Fighting spirit might be the only thing that stands between us and total capitulation.
I want to know what kind of conversations they're having behind the scenes. E.E. Green, thank you for the $1.99 super chat, E.E. Green. Should I eat ice cream or go to bed? Shit, I'd eat ice cream. I don't have any ice cream on me. I wish I did. Ben & Jerry's is what you should be eating right now.
Capitulation. Here's how former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger puts it today, quote, there was a time not too long ago when America stood as the beacon of freedom, the defender of democracy, the steadfast ally of those who resisted oppression. Yet today, as I watch the behavior of our political leaders, the comments of an ever increasingly unhinged Trump, and the growing indifference of many Americans toward our role in the world, I have to ask a painful question.
What's up, Anxiety? How you doing? Ashley Good, thank you for the $5. Says, come on, guys, let's make the gifting goal. I wish we could. I don't think we're going to make it. We only have 5 minutes left to make the gifting goal. But thank you, Ashley, for your support. I appreciate it. Brett Hall, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you.
Are we now the bad
I'll have a scoop or two and then go to bed.
guys?
You like Ben & Jerry's half-baked, Stephanie? All right, let's do our Ben & Jerry's. Let me tell you what Ben & Jerry's is the absolute shit. Peanut butter, whatever it is. Whatever their name of their peanut butter one. I love peanut butter ice cream. The best. The fucking best. Agent Orange! In case no one heard, that Killer Fuzz raises his own chickens. He raises his own chickens. Checkmate, libs. Thank you, Agent Orange. Appreciate you. I know, he told us 900 times how many he raises chickens, like anyone gives a shit. Agent Orange with the $25 super chat. Agent Orange, thank you so much, Agent Orange. Appreciate you, buddy. Jamie Fisher says, now I want ice cream. Jamie, get some Ben & Jerry's. Thank you for the $4.99, Jamie. Appreciate you. He tells us every 5 minutes he has chickens. Congratulations! God damn! Amanda, Amatude. Thank you for the $5 super chat. You're blowing it up, guys. Appreciate you, Amatude. Amanda, for the $5 super chat, super sticker. Appreciate you, Mellow Vibe. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you, too. I'm sorry, not $9.99. 99 cent. Thank you, Mellow. 99 cent. Amanda, thank you for the $5. Jamie, thank you for the $4.99. And Agent Orange, thank you for the $25 super chat. You're the shit, Agent Orange. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Laura Shockley, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake. I could eat that. Shit, I'm not going to say no to anything if you guys want to know me. Honestly, I say no to very little. I say no to very little when it comes to food. Bryce, thank you for the $4.99. Says hang in there, Adam. Here's to your ice cream fund, Papa. Thank you, Bryce. Appreciate you, Bryce. Listen, when it comes to Ben & Jerry's ice cream, there's not really a bad one. You know, I see you. Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. I see you. Thank you, I see you. Appreciate you.
Concerning, it's dangerous. The world is watching. Our allies in Europe and Asia are questioning whether they can count on us.
Mellow Vibe, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Mellow. I see you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Seriously. Thank you, everybody, for trying to reach it. I appreciate you, everybody. Need 5 more if we're going to reach it. 210 Rain with the $9.99 super chat. Let's go. Let's go. 210 Raid. Let's go. Kathleen, Adam, you're the best. Thank you, Kathleen. Appreciate you. Mella again with the 99 cents. Appreciate you. Guys, here's the part that bothers me. I have up on the screen right now. Tiffany Joyner. I was going to get a membership today, but Ashley gifted this month, so paying it forward to you, Adam. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate you so much, Tiffany. Really, seriously. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Carly, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Lately. This week was really good content. We had some IRL content. Well, guess what? We have some more IRL content coming. When you guys support, I put a lot of it back in. Obviously, I feed my child and I feed my family and everything, but I put a lot of it back into the content. We got some more IRL content coming. So if you guys enjoyed the IRL content, it's coming. More is coming. Amanda, again with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Amanda. Jamie with the $4.99 super chat. Jamie, I appreciate you. Rachel coming through with the $1.99. I say we eat Ben & Jerry's during the night lives. I'm down with that. V. Candelouver. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat, V. Can. Appreciate you, Christopher. I appreciate you. Thank you, Christopher. Always here. Christopher, good supporter. $4.99. Thank you for the super chat, Christopher. Blue Girl in Florida. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Emily's Blunt. Thank you for the $4.99. Trying to help with the goal with your cute ass self. Thank you, Emily. Appreciate you, Emily. Thank you to everybody who supported. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. You guys supporting. I don't know why I'm outside of the thing here, though. I just realized looking at the screen that I'm a little outside of the screen here. I'm going to go here so you can see me better. Thank you to everybody. I really appreciate you guys completing that goal. Seriously. Thank you so much, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So what we're going to do is, before I talk about this, we're going to do another IRL. No, I have a camera. I don't need to buy a camera. I have a camera. I have a Sony fucking ZV-E10. Cost me $500-600. I have a vlogging camera, literally a really good camera. It's better quality than any camera or phone you could, like, it's pretty high quality. But the problem is I didn't have my mic set up. The issue I had was a microphone. Turned out it was okay, but the microphone will make it better when I'm debating people. So, and I plan on doing some more IRL debates. I'm basically just going to walk up to people and be like, hey, would you like to talk about this? And you guys know I was pretty, I'm okay with being confrontational in person. You saw it. I have zero problem doing it. I obviously don't want to get beat up or anything like that, but I don't care. Like, MAGA's fucking crazy. I want to bring you some good IRL content, so that's what I'm going to do. Agent Orange, thank you for the $10 super chat. Agent Orange says, for Fuzzball's chickens. Fuzzball, look what you did. You literally caused people to send me super chats. Thank you, Thank you, Agent Orange. I almost said thank you, Fuzzball. No thank you, Fuzzball. Agent Orange, thank you, though. Leah, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Leah. Yeah, the super chats help push the live out, too, just so you guys know.
America still means what it says.
So this is very troubling, and I want everyone to listen to this here. This is the important part. You ready? All right, here we go. Everyone listening? All right, here we go.
I have to ask a painful question. Are we now the bad guys? The shift isn't just concerning, it's dangerous. The world is watching. Our allies in Europe and Asia. The shift in full question.
Guys, remember what I said
yesterday? Are we now the bad guys?
Guys, remember what I said yesterday? Are we now the bad guys? We are on... Can you believe, as an American, as the country that stormed the beaches of Normandy, America, the good guys, supposed to be the good guys, are now the bad guys? We're on the side of North Korea. We're on the side of Russia.
The shift isn't just concerning, it's dangerous. The world is watching. Our allies in Europe and Asia are questioning whether they can count on us, whether America still means what it says. Our adversaries, Putin, Xi, and every dictator with territorial ambitions, are licking their chops, waiting for America to fully turn inward, to abandon its role as the leader of the free world. Quote, so I ask again, are we the bad guys? End quote. Are we? That's where we start today with Bill Browder.
I'm going to say yes. I hate to say that. Depending on who you speak to, we've been the bad guys before, but now so. But yes, but I mean on an international stage, we've been looked at by Europe and these other countries as an ally, right? Since World War II, we've been, we played a major role in liberating Europe. Domestically, no, certainly can make an argument we were the bad guys to our own people in many ways. How this country came to be, etc. But internationally, on an international stage, according to Europe, this is new. And I don't think they have any... The problem with this is, I'm going to say even outside of Donald Trump, I don't know that we can take this back. I think that's probably more troubling to me than what he's doing, is the idea that even best case scenario, he leaves in 4 years or we force him out. Are we going to be able to fix this? Chat, give me your thoughts. I don't believe we're going to be able to convince these people that we won't do this again. And why would you make an agreement, an alliance with a country that you can't trust? And they made it very clear If you remember prior to the election, does anyone remember that live I did where we went over, they did those studies where basically they went to these other countries and they asked them, like, what would you think if the United States elected Trump again? Overwhelmingly, people said, I would not trust him. I would not trust the U.S.
CEO of Hermitage Capital Management and head of the Global Magnitsky Justice Campaign, which seeks to expose corruption and is named in honor of a Kremlin critic, Sergei Magnitsky, who died in a Russian prison. We've wanted to talk to you for days now, and it feels like all of this is as public-facing as it's been. Both Trump's embrace of Putin's view of the war in Ukraine, of course, started by Putin, and the Republican Party's complete capitulation to things they said 48, 72 hours.
It's scary because it's just the beginning. Agreed. I agree. There's so much more to come, but look, when there is a conflict, that's when we'll look back and say. That's why I think most Americans don't even realize the consequences here. Because when it actually comes to a head and we actually start fighting with another country, and you look over your shoulder, oh wait, where's NATO? Nowhere to be found.
Hours ago, when it comes to how they see Putin, a lot of ways similar to.
Did I see the Elon interview today? No, but I can look it up. There was an interview today. Which one? You're not talking about the one that I already did last night, right? Or you're talking about, the Cpac interview. Let's do it. Chat, do you want to watch the Cpac interview? Is this the one where they gave him the fucking chainsaw? Did you guys see that shit? Was that during this? I just saw it. I don't know where they gave it to him. No, that was like the president of Argentina or some shit, right? Is this the one where they gave him the fucking chainsaw, or was that a different day? That was today? Holy shit, dude. All right, chat, you want to watch this interview? This is this is going to be ugly. This is going to be ugly. I would not watch this alone because it's so disgusting, but I'll watch it with you guys. Everybody do me a favor. Exit the chat and hit the thumbs up button. Let's spam the thumbs up button. Every single person in here needs to hit the thumbs up button. Not the heart, the thumbs up button.
Gentlemen, it's time for the DOGE update. Please welcome Newmac's host, Rob Schmidt.
Man, that is a big crowd. And they are not here for me. How you guys doing? Nice vibe this year, right? After the best month we've ever had. Nice to see you all. Thanks for coming out. Good to see you. I'm not going to kill any more time. Let's bring out Elon Musk.
Birdie, thank you so much for the $5.49. Glad you're enjoying the content. Thank you, Birdie. All right, we have to do it. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. He literally thinks he's a fucking rock star. We have to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We do this every time. If you guys are new to the YouTube lives, we've been doing this regularly, and it's fucking funny. All right, let's do it. Ready, everybody? Thinks he's a fucking rock star. I'll speed it up a little bit. What the fuck is that? He legitimately thinks he's fucking a rock star. He is so fucking cringe, dude. I literally, can someone at least pull him aside just for the, like, I know we're all gonna, like, die, right? But can someone at least pull him aside and say, can you stop embarrassing us further? Like, just all I'm asking is, like, try and act reasonably normal, okay? This is just, you're making it worse. It's like someone embarrassing you at your funeral. You know what I mean? It's your funeral, you're dead anyway, it doesn't matter. But you wouldn't want people to be acting stupid at your funeral. You know what I mean? You'd be like, please don't dance at my funeral, okay? I'm dead anyway, it doesn't matter. But can you just not, please, make it worse? What the fuck was that? Oh my god. And what is with the gigantic belt buckle? What is this, fucking Red Dead Redemption 2? What's with the big belt buckle? Is there a horse around the corner or something? Big gold chain. Big sunglasses. This is fucking...
We're gonna stay up for 1 second. Hey guys. We've got one more surprise in case this wasn't enough. I'm gonna let Elon do it. Who else is here?
Well, President Milei has a gift for me.
Javier Milei.
Oh, this is gonna be the chainsaw. Fuck.
From Argentina, you guys know who that is, right? Why don't we bring him out?
Yeah.
God help us all.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw! That's perfect. All right.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
I gotta hear that little noise he made again.
Let's see. Thank you. This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
You literally are a bureaucrat. You're unelected. A billionaire. You're the definition of a bureaucrat. Jesus Christ.
Chainsaw!
Chainsaw. You couldn't. How much you want to bet Elon Musk couldn't use a chainsaw if his life fucking depended on it? Elon, you have to cut this piece of wood to save your family. He couldn't do it. Fucking embarrassing.
That's perfect. All right.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right.
Why? I mean, the president of Argentina looks like he fell out of a 1972 time machine.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you.
I haven't seen mutton chop since the late 70s.
We love it. We love it.
All right.
Bro literally fell out of a fucking Woodstock documentary.
They told me to put this right.
Where should we put it?
They want it right here.
All right, great.
A little stage prop.
Did you notice that guy kind of moved it away from Elon? That guy moved it away from Elon. He's like, they want it right here. You can't touch it anymore, okay? Don't touch the blades. No, we don't.
All of you guys too. Thanks, guys.
Have a seat.
So,
that was something.
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much.
I am become meme. This is a joke to him. I am become meme. This is a fucking joke to him, dude. And they're making him a rock star. As much as this is funny, like, I'm laughing, but this isn't funny. Like, as much as it's funny and we have to laugh because we'll never make it through this if we don't laugh together. It's not funny. Like, ultimately, it's really not. This is our country being decimated.
That was something.
I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you're not cool, dude. I am become meme. You're creepy.
I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know.
You're like, I think.
yeah, it's so funny.
I mean, DOGE started out as a meme. Think about it.
No, we're well aware it's a meme. We're well aware, okay? It's as obvious as your hair plugs, but you know what I mean?
And now it's real. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
But it's cool.
Let me ask you this. A year ago, if someone had told you you'd be at Cpac and working with the president to absolutely shred the government, the swamp, whatever you want to call it, would you have ever believed that?
No.
No? Me neither.
But it's cool. This is awesome. And I just want to say, thanks for your support. I mean, you guys are, So, I mean, we're trying to get good things done, but also, have a good time doing it, and and have like a sense of humor, So, I mean, the sort of the left wanted to make comedy illegal, Like, you can't make fun of anything. So there's like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy. Yeah. Legalize comedy.
And we've shifted the entire culture in just the last few months. The whole culture of this country has shifted dramatically just because of that election.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's okay to be racist again, man. Like, you know what? No big deal, dude. Like, use slurs and shit, man. That's hilarious. That's what they mean. They mean using slurs is okay again. And apparently it is. In our society, it is now. It's normal. It's fine. It's disgusting. And it's not funny. Slurs will never be funny. Racism will never be funny. Homophobia is not funny. Birdie, thank you for the $2.79. Looks like a 70 game show host, Richard Dawson. I would agree. Even the stage kind of looks like a 70s game show. Put that guy with the mutton chops out there and a couple of podiums and shit, you got a 70s game show.
Freedom of speech, having fun again. It seems like we should have a good time, I
mean, it's a great time. Everybody in this place is so excited, and I haven't. I mean, when you
that's a good point, Autumn. Coming from the people who got mad at the Tom Hanks SNL skit, exactly.
Talk to conservatives, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And everybody feels this great sense of relief because we were going to hell for about 4 years. It really felt bad. Yeah. Especially toward the end, it felt really bad.
Yeah, I thought we were sort of heading for a point of no return, really.
Yeah.
Until that's why it was so essential that President Trump win the election, and that there be a Republican majority in the House and Senate, which, thanks to you, that has been accomplished.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you, one of the biggest questions I have for you is, you've been, politically, you weren't really on one side or the other for a long time. You're a businessman. A lot of people, they stay away from it. Now you're on a side, and you've chosen a side. You're sitting here in a MAGA hat. What's it, how did that happen? What was the moment
dark Gothic MAGA.
That's a good one. Was there a specific moment? Was there a moment that it all changed?
Yeah, when I realized I was a fool. But no, I was, I guess, yeah, I mean, I'd say like I was politically neutral for quite a while. You know, leaning a little Democrat.
How do you go from that to this?
Yeah, no.
How does that happen?
Well,
money, bribes, opportunity would be the best answer.
Did they go crazy?
Yeah, they did go crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy.
No, I mean that whole cancel culture and it's trying to stop freedom of speech and infringe upon, just in general, infringe upon people's personal freedoms. You know, they just want state control of what you say. They want to, take away your guns. And the reason they want to take away your guns, so like there's nothing you do to oppose them. So it's sort of like, I just like we just need to restore the fundamental elements of what made America great, which is freedom and opportunity.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of these freedoms disappearing in the West. It's not just about America. We're all watching Europe and knowing that they're about 50, 100 years ahead of us, right? Because they got an early start. And we're watching how they're devolving. And you're trying to save it from happening here.
No, I mean, in Europe, they put people in prison for memes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's insane.
And they're collapsing. I mean, this society it's a collapsing society. It feels that way.
It feels like...
France was nicer 50 years ago than it is today.
Yeah.
I don't think you can question that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, really... Thanks. I love you too.
They do love
I mean, he doesn't even know how to answer the questions because he's clearly has some kind of agenda, and you can't give a legitimate answer like, well, I think this is best for the American people, because that's not why he's doing it.
I really just wanted to do useful things, like basically build products, provide products and services that are good, and that I wasn't really like that interested in being political. It just like there was at a certain point no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you on the same side of that coin, what's it like from going neutral to being vilified, largely vilified by the media? Like you're
what? No. Really?
I mean, you turn on some of these channels, brother. I mean, they're angry at you. Does it bother you at all? Does it get to you?
I mean, when they're chanting for my death, I suppose that's a little,
not good.
But then, like, the song's not even that good, and it's like you call that a death chant? That's nothing. Please.
They've been singing a lot lately.
It's not even good music.
Yeah. There's a lot of music lately. It's not good music either. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that watching what you're doing with DOGE is just people love it. I mean, I've always looked at the government and. I've always looked at the government and I've seen this big machine and you just know that they waste because they don't care. There's more money coming, they don't care.
Yeah.
You're cutting all this out. Everybody in this country knows that the government is full of waste, fraud, and abuse. And you're doing the work and the Americans love it. Watching their reaction politically to this, I can't believe how bad they are at responding to this. I don't know how you're gonna sit there and scream and complain because they're cutting waste out of the government and try to win another election.
Still, we have not seen evidence of any waste being cut.
How do you try to win on that?
Well, at this point, I'm not sure how much of the left is even real.
Yeah.
How
much was propped up by our money?
Yeah. Like literally, you see like these sort of fake rallies where there's like hardly any people, and the media will like frame it and like get all 6 people in the frame.
Yeah, I was just at a protest earlier this week, and there was a shitload of people there. People are pissed. Maybe not your people, but my people are pissed. People I care about are pissed.
But it's like nobody else is there. Like it doesn't have popular support.
Not true.
But then you learn that like there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs.
That guys, we're not real.
And it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
And they're propping up their narrative.
Yes.
A lot of that government money has been propping up a left that I don't think is as strong as they made it seem.
In fact, a massive amount of your tax dollars is going to...
T-Full Hun, thank you for the $19.99 super chat. Really appreciate that. Says, Republicans are simple creatures, easily bought and easily manipulated. I agree 100%, T-Full Hun. They are just not very bright, right? Incapable of critical analysis. Emily's Blunt, thank you for the $4.99, says, someone on Reddit said Elon is built like a deep breath, and that was...
to legacy media companies.
That's a good one. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, T-Full and Emily. Appreciate the support.
From the government.
The government wants to take over media.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's why we have X.
Yeah, and
that's why you spent $44 billion. I mean,
that's not why he did it, but okay. We can pretend that he's the freedom fighter for free speech. Didn't he just literally block or ban or restrict Laura Loomer, who's on the same side as him, because she disagreed with him? Lindsay Nunya, thank you for the $4.99. Lindsay, thank you so much, Lindsay.
That's a lot of money.
I mean...
more than it was probably worth. But there was a message.
Freedom is priceless.
Priceless. Yeah. Probably one of the most important investments this country's ever seen. If you got to protect the first...
Guys, freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech, until you disagree with them. That's what they used to say about us. They used to say it's freedom of speech until you disagree with them.
Amendment.
They will block you so quick. They're literally taking over media. I got a strike the other day on TikTok simply because in a comment section, I said Trump is not good. And I got a strike for it.
It's not much more important than that.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of criticism, and people said, well...
why is he wearing sunglasses? Because he wants to be cool. He thinks he's cool.
That proves he's a huge...
He literally thinks he's the main character. He really does. He also does not care if this country burns.
Idiot from he voted for whatever, $44 billion, and now it's worth like 8 cents. And
it's not worth 8 cents.
But it was essentially to buy freedom of...
Sydney, thank you so much for the Cash App, Sydney. Says, love the streams. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate you, Sydney. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. A lot of good stuff to come. This is just us scratching the surface. I plan on bringing you guys the best, most in-depth content over the next 4 years. Comedy, IRL stuff. We're going to go place. We're going to do things. We're going to talk to people. We're going to debate still. We're going to watch things. And we're going to get through this together. Berkeley, thank you so much for the $4.99. Says, this presidency has made me feel like I'm tied to a chair and being forced to watch a toddler play with a loaded gun from all this anxiety. That's a pretty accurate description there, Berkeley. I feel pretty similar to what you just said. That's not a bad take. That's a pretty good take.
Expression. Yeah.
Once that's gone, it's all over. It's all over.
Yeah,
descent into tyranny is really quick after that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the sort of federal money going to media companies is what helps explain why the legacy media all says the same thing at the same time.
So Republicans don't do the same thing? You do understand that Republicans do the same thing, right? That they 100% do the exact thing you're talking about? You know what hey, do you guys care that Russia is funding right-wing influencers?
Time.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it it's like weird? Like you can put them up where it's like, like when
they're mouthpieces for
the state.
For the state.
Yes.
And that's what we've...
Christy said, I love the IRL idea. Christy, I already did it. I was IRL on Monday. I already did some IRL. They're in the live section if you want to watch them. I did IRL debates. I went to protested a bunch of IRL stuff on Monday.
Come to know.
Yeah,
it's scary.
And I like that meme where they're because they're always saying like threat to our democracy, but if you just replace democracy with bureaucracy, it makes a lot of sense.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Big threat to the bureaucracy.
That's exactly right. Let's talk about these DOGE dividend checks that everybody's...
All right, so this is the big deal right here. Everyone listen. So apparently the rumor is that all American citizens are going to receive an $8,000 check, dividend check, from the government from the wasteful spending they cut. Do you think we're going to receive it?
Talking about this week. And I know you tweeted out that you were going to... Does everybody want like a $5,000 check in the mail? It sounds kind of good, right? And the best part about it would be knowing where it came from. That's $5,000 that you sent them last year.
Totally. It's money that's taken away from things that are destructive to the country and from organizations that hate you to you. That's awesome.
Does it seem, have you talked to
that's
the
like
president?
glorious. That's like
It's the best.
the spoils of battle, you know?
I like that. Is there traction on that?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I talked to the president, and he's supportive of that. And so it sounds like, that's something we're going to do.
Yep.
So as we're finding savings, that's going to translate directly to reductions in tax. So.
Yeah. I think they fired 6,000 people at the IRS today.
Yeah.
And I think Lutnick said last night that they're talking about shutting down the IRS. And I think it's fair. I think people should realize this is, the amount of money said last night that they're talking about shutting down the IRS.
My God. Well, I'm glad I have you guys to experience the end with. I wouldn't want to do this alone. At least we're together, I guess.
I think it's fair. I think people should realize this is, the amount of money that we send Washington like $5 or $6 trillion a year. That is such an ungodly amount of money. What do they? They say like 1 trillion seconds is like 30 years or something like that. That's how much we send them, and they seem to never have enough. There must be a lot you can cut.
No, absolutely. People ask me, what's the most surprising thing that you've encountered when you go to D.C., when you're in D.C.? And I said, well, the most surprising thing is the scale of the expenditures and actually how easy it is to, when you add caring and competence where it was absent before.
How many times is he going to say the same fucking thing?
You can actually save billions of dollars, sometimes in an hour.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And then they scoff at it and say, oh, a few billion here or there. The way they're talking about it, you can see they don't care. It's such little money compared to how much they're used to wasting. That's what's really scary.
Exactly. But obviously, it just shows that they really lack empathy for the average taxpayer who's working hard, paying taxes, and then they say, oh, $1 million doesn't matter. I'm like, I think it matters a lot to people, So what are you talking about?
I'd like to have it. Let me ask you a question. I know the president fairly well, watched him survive 2 assassination attempts. Had the first one not happened, the second one would have gotten him. It was very, because without those extra guys, they would have never seen that gun poking through the fence at the golf course. I saw the crew that you had.
Isn't it like mind-blowing that this has happened? By the way, why do we still...
They still make the claim Democrats were behind that. Of course, that's never been substantiated. They just don't prove shit. They say shit, but they don't ever substantiate it.
I know nothing about that guy in Butler. What's going on? Cash is going to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way,
Confirmed just a couple hours ago, but I saw that the security detail that you had come in is enormous.
Well, it's not that enormous. Maybe it should be bigger. I don't know.
I think you could probably afford it. But how concerned are you about your safety? You are a wanted man. Are you nervous?
So, look, I'm open to ideas for improving security. I have to tell you, I don't actually have a death wish. I think. It's not that easy. But I have I've had even people like President Bukele from El Salvador who managed to put in prison 100,000 murderous thugs, and he was he called me. He's like, I'm worried about your security. I'm like, you're worried about my security? I'm like, what? Okay.
Talk about guts to do that down there.
Yeah, totally.
And survive.
I was like, how did you put all those thugs in prison without dying, because it seems like that would have been not easy, you know.
Well, the president has, one of his top attorneys is now investigating, I guess, Chuck Schumer for threats against SCOTUS, a congressman on the Democrat side, for saying, basically saying we're going to bring a war to you, like a fight to you. I mean,
So this is the thing, guys. They're going to start investigating us. That's what they're going to start doing. They're going to start investigating politicians, anyone who opposes them. When your voice gets loud enough, they're going to come after you. I fully expect them to do the same with me at some point. I really believe that these people are coming after all of us. As soon as you make even a tiny bit of noise, they're going to drop an investigation on you, cost you thousands, if not millions of dollars in legal fees. And then guess what? You have no choice but to shut up because you can't afford it.
Rhetoric, you guys are screwing with things that are not supposed to be messed with. And
well, we're fighting the Matrix.
There's a lot of people that really don't want that to happen.
Yeah, we're fighting the Matrix big time here. But it has got to be done.
Yeah.
It
certainly does. What's going on with? Tell us about Fort Knox. There's Kentucky. It's a military.
Yeah, they've started investigating people, but they haven't come for the people yet. They've gone for politicians. I believe they're going to come for the people. I think there's going to be commercials about turning in your communist neighbor. I think that they're going to come for creators and people that are loud on social media. I think it's all coming. I think it's all coming down, and I think they're coming for us. I fully expect. I would not be shocked at all if it happens to me even. Zuck, thank you. Zuck does suck. Thank you for the $5. Says thank you for all you do. You truly have helped me get through some rough days. Always appreciate it. Zuck, that's what I'm here for. I'll be here for the next 4 years until they shut my mouth. If they forcibly shut my mouth, then I won't be here. But they'll have to forcibly shut my mouth before I stop talking.
Base, it's a ton of gold, tons and tons and tons
like
of gold.
5,000 tons of gold or
5,000 tons of gold are there in the ground and like this. I mean, it's a very secure thing.
I think we all want to see it.
I'd love to see it.
Like, this is your gold, by the way. It's the public's gold.
Do you think?
So let me say this. Sorry, I was muted. So, Randall, I was just protesting Elon on Monday. I don't know what else I can do from my position, but, I think that politicians, from their position they're in, I can use my voice and scream about them, and this is what I can do. I can protest, I can do these things, try and expose what I can. I think that the politicians are scared. I think they're being threatened with investigations. I think they are concerned about potentially in corruption they may have engaged in at some point through their political career. Let's be honest. Corruption is rampant. Politics, right? There is special interest groups. There's side deals. There's insider trading. There's all sorts of things that happen in government. And I think these people are being threatened with being exposed, and they're scared. They're scared to speak out out of fear of being investigated. So it's very much what they accused us of doing. Look, Donald Trump did not accuse the left of weaponizing the Department of Justice to discredit his charges. Maybe that was part of it. But what he was doing was laying the foundation for an investigation, for him weaponizing the Department of Justice and investigating political opponents. He was setting the foundation for what he was going to do.
Think it's not there?
I don't know.
Mello, thank you for the $2. I know, I forgot to unmute my mic.
But I think
we just want to see it.
Yeah, we want to go see it and just make sure like somebody did a spray paint some lead or something,
Yeah.
Like, is this real gold? Buy at the bar,
Didn't dent.
But I think, honestly, part of this also is just like, let's have some fun and like I said, all this gold at Fort Knox, it's the public's gold. It's your gold. So, like, I think you have, like, a right to see it.
You want to take a tour?
You know? Yeah. I think we should have do a tour. And then the president last night was like, I think he's in favor of it. That would be cool. And then it should be like a live tour. Like, you can see what's going on, open the door, like, what's behind it.
Well, and there's...
I think I'd watch that.
Yeah, because that's... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, what does 5,000 tons of gold look
totally.
like?
What does
How
it
big
look
is
like?
that? Is it the size of this?
It's got to be pretty big, you know.
It's got to be a lot of
Maybe
gold.
there's some other stuff in there, like just walk around, like I don't know, maybe they got some other stuff in there.
Are you thinking about auditing the Federal Reserve as well, which is obviously
yeah, sure.
Regulates our economy. I imagine you think the waste has got to be everywhere.
Yeah, no, waste is pretty much everywhere. People ask, like, how can you find waste in D.C.? I'm like, look, it's like being in a room, and this target, the wall, the roofs, and the floor are all targets. So it's like, you're going to close your eyes and go shoot in any direction. Because you can't miss, you know? So it's pretty wild. Like you just push on things a little bit and you save billions of dollars. Like just a little bit, you know? It's wild.
It's scary, isn't it?
That's why I say it really is underrated. If you add caring and competence, how much things improve.
Yeah.
Yeah, he thinks he's a rock star. He really does. He thinks he's a rock star. Guys, we have 9 minutes left for this goal. I'd appreciate supporting if you enjoy the content.
And we just find so many totally crazy things, which, we're sharing with the public. We post everything we learn.
This is all a show now.
So you can see it. You know.
What do you?
It's like, isn't it like it's totally wild? Like we just did like a check the database on Social Security. Like says how many alive Americans eligible for Social Security are there? And according to the database, it's over 400 million. And we're like, wait a second.
And how many are getting?
How old are they again?
Yeah.
Imagine a billionaire worried about people collecting a little tiny Social Security check. You know what I mean? That's disgusting. This guy's worth billions of dollars. How dare you collect that $500 Social Security check? Oh my God. Give me a fucking break.
And then we found one person in there is 360 years old. I'm like, what, they know Ben Franklin or something?
The revolution.
I mean, America didn't exist before at that time. So
yeah, we were colonies.
Maybe it's just me, but I think it's a red flag. I don't know.
But are there indications that there were checks going to those people or any of those people?
Well, yeah.
That's, I guess, the question, right? I get the Social Security Administration is dumb, but are they paying these people? Are they that dumb? I don't know.
A bunch of money is going out from the Social Security Administration, and in fact, from all entitlements programs.
$72 billion in waste in 7 years. That's $10 billion a year.
Well, I think the
fraudulent payments.
The rough estimate from Government Accountability Office is over $500 billion of fraud a year. $500 billion.
And how long at a time?
Per year.
Per year?
You're going to have to show me this on paper. I need to see proof. I still have not seen any actual evidence of what they're talking about. It's all circumstantial stuff. It's all just words on paper. It's not actual evidence. Am I supposed to trust shit posters from 4chan? Char City, thank you for the $5. Said I can't stand his bullshit and the way they just eat up every word. It disgusts me, Char City. It disgusts me, Char City. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you.
On Social Security?
No. On all
on all government.
On all entitlements.
All entitlements.
All entitlements. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of actually.
April said, "I'm going to bed. I hopefully wake up from this nightmare." April, I wish the best for you, April. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. But I wish the best for you.
It makes sense when you look at the thing from a top level and say, okay, the $7 trillion of spending by the government. What percentage do you think is fraudulent?
Well, the problem is when you start digging into Social Security, when you start cutting and hacking and villainizing Social Security, innocent people get hurt. That's just the way it works.
Okay, exactly. A conservative estimate of the $7 trillion would be 10%. Conservative.
Probably a little higher than that, yeah.
Exactly.
Feels like a quarter out of every dollar, right?
But if the fraud's only 10% of $7 trillion, you've got $700 billion of fraud.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's like really easy to take advantage of the federal government. It's very easy. So,
Very easy. Look at COVID.
Yes.
Everybody got rich during COVID. I mean, look at all these scammers. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It looks like, in terms of the COVID payments, there was something like $200 billion of COVID payment fraud taken by fraudsters out of the country.
Out of the country, yeah.
That's like I think, listen, if there's going to be fraud, it should at least be domestic.
Yeah.
So, you know. But they managed to get $200 billion out of the country. I'm like, what? Didn't we notice that?
Let me ask you, let's do immigration here for a second. There's this move now that Trump's latest thing is that he's going to cut funding, any kind of
Yes, Ryan, he does.
money that ends up in the hands of illegal immigrants. So if you're funding these sanctuary cities and states, that's how they thrive, right? They're paying for these hotels. That's all federal money. If you got a hotel
This is bullshit.
in your city, in New York, you got all these hotels full of migrants. That's not state money. That's the feds are covering that. He's going to cut all that. It's really hard to deport 15 million people.
Guys, we have 4 more to complete the goal. We only need 4 more.
And it seems like the move
goal,
now
the
is, let's
goal.
see if we, especially at the rate that we're going, it seems like the move now is, let's make it so that they leave on their own. If there's no longer a dole system for them, if they can't get their hands on hotel rooms and money, they're going to go back, especially if there's no work.
Well, I think it's really important for people to understand that the Biden administration sent any possible money that they could if there was money they could send to facilitate and amplify illegal immigration, they sent it. Okay, they took money from FEMA meant for helping Americans.
This is not true.
And sent that money to luxury hotels for illegal immigrants.
That's just a flat out fucking lie. I've been studying this shit for a long time, well over a decade. That's not true. Congress appropriates those funds, okay? There's something called a shelter and services program that is underneath the umbrella of FEMA, okay? And then there's something called disaster relief. You physically can't take money from something from the shelter and services program or take money from disaster relief and dedicate it to the shelter and services program. It's physically impossible. You can't do it. Congress controls the purse strings. These funds are appropriated to, they're separated for a reason. Okay? This is not fucking true. There was not money taken away from disaster relief and given to shelter and services. That's a fucking lie. That's a flat out fucking lie. But no one here will call him out on that. That's a lie. That's not true. And I can't tell if he's stupid or he's lying, but it's one of the two. Jessica, thank you so much. Come on, y'all. Let's make this happen for Adam. He can show you shows up for. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for the $4.99, Jessica.
In New York.
Bryce, thank you for becoming a tadpole. Welcome to the team, Bryce. Thank you for becoming a tadpole. Charcity again says he doesn't understand the benefits to Social Security is at risk. VA benefits will be. And the 9/11 Survivors Fund is being dismantled. Yes, it is, Charcity. Thank you, Charcity, for the $5. And Jessica, thank you for the $4.99. Appreciate you both.
That is an outrage.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are enjoying these late night lives before bed. I hope these are kind of helping you a little bit. You know what I mean? Before bed, you come in, you watch the live. I hope they're helping. I really do. Sid, thank you for the $4.99, Sid. I hear someone booing. Thank you, Sid.
They actually did that. And out.
So this is not true. So watch, you guys want proof?
They took money from.
So if you guys want proof that he's a liar, I'm telling you that number one, I know more than Elon. He's not very intelligent. He has no idea what he's talking about. That these are two separate programs. One is called Shelter and Services, and one is called Disaster Relief. They are separated. They're not. You can't take funds from one and apply them to the other. Now watch him lie. He's lying right here. Here's the proof.
The Biden administration sent any possible money that they could. If
this is a blatant lie.
There was money they could send to facilitate and amplify illegal immigration, they sent it. Okay? They took money from FEMA, meant for helping Americans in distress, and sent that money to luxury hotels for illegal immigrants in New York. That is
not fucking true. Thank you, 417 Stefa, for the $4.99 super chat. 417 Stefa, thank you so much. I appreciate you, 417 Stefa. Christy 312 for the $4.99 says, thank you for helping me get through this. I couldn't do it alone. I will be here for you as much as I can over the next 4 years. As long as you guys continue to support, I will be here for you, and we'll get through this together, right?
Yeah. An outrage.
Yeah.
They actually did that. And not only that, even after the president signed an executive order saying it has to stop, the FEMA, the sort of whatever deep state bureaucrats still pressed send on $80 million last week to go to the Roosevelt Hotel in New York and other places last week.
It's partially lies, and it's partially just complete mischaracterization. Jessica, thank you for the $4.99, says thank you for all you do. Thank you, Jessica. Fox, I appreciate you, Jessica.
And now they're mad that it got stopped, and they're like trying to sue to have it be restored. It's like the gumption is unreal.
You think they're creating?
Yeah, well, I don't. This guy's such a fucking liar. Elon is stealing taxpayer money. He is lying. PIS in Poland did this. They gutted their government and stole millions in funds from the people. Mello, thank you for the $5, Mello.
A new voter class? Would you think that was the goal when they opened up the borders for 4 years? Create a new voter class, get them citizenship, get them in. Green cards, vote.
A lot of these things, like, you don't actually have to assume some grand conspiracy.
Berkeley says, bro, they literally spent $15 million for Trump to go to the Super Bowl. Big facts, Berkeley. So they spent roughly $15 million for Trump to go to the Super Bowl, but yet they care about government spending or taxpayer money's being spent inappropriately. Let me talk about this really quick, right? Trump is leaving the Super Bowl, and he announces, I'm eliminating the 1 cent, the penny, as it's referred to in the United States, the penny, right? Now, of course, there's it's kind of a historical thing that the argument, it's not really, I don't care if the penny is gone. I really don't care. But it's historical in a sense. And if they want to stop production, sure, it does save a little bit of money. Canada saved roughly, I think, between $11 and $12 million annually by eliminating the 1 cent. But it just goes to show you how these people are full of shit. Donald Trump cost the American taxpayer $15 million to go watch the Super Bowl, and then says, I'm going to save the American people $11 million by eliminating the penny. The point is, they're not serious. They're not serious about saving your money. They never have been. They're full of shit. This is all a show to get them on your side, because this is wave one. I talked about it. This is the first wave of an authoritarian takeover. The next wave is going to be by force. This is probing the system. This is getting the people on your side. The next wave is going to be things like, well, I'm going to use the Insurrection Act to suspend the Constitution temporarily and use the military against the American people. This is stage one of a 2-stage takeover. Mark my words. Haven't been wrong yet.
So you just need to look at basic incentives.
Benefits.
So if the incentives, fundamentally, if the probability that an illegal is going to vote Democrat at some point, whether it's cheating, but eventually they can become citizens. But if
this guy calls people illegal, dude, you're not even American. Shut up. You're not even an American, you fucking robot.
Probability is like 80-90%. You just look at California, which is supermajority Dem, and then the incentive is to maximize the number of illegals in the country. That is why the Biden administration was pushing to get in as many illegals as possible and spend every dollar possible to get as many, because every one of them is a customer, every one of them is a voter.
Yeah.
And so the whole thing was a giant voter importation scam.
Pretty obvious.
Very obvious.
Yeah.
And then moreover, then they actually created the CVP1 voter app thing, where they were, which is like where they would literally fly people in. It's not like at the point at which people being flown in at your expense.
Sending planes.
Building a
pick
wall
people up,
doesn't
fly
matter.
them over the border.
So for the people on Twitch, I'm simply live on Twitch just to get my affiliate badge. I'm very close to becoming an affiliate on Twitch. If you guys want to head over to Twitch, don't leave YouTube. But if you want to head over to Twitch and just watch in the background or, hit like or whatever you have to do over there, send something, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to become an affiliate on Twitch, but I'm not yet. Okay? So if you're wondering, yeah, I'm not an affiliate yet on Twitch.
Flying them in.
No other country in the world would do something like this. Nobody is this stupid.
Yeah, and then we found that it was like $100 million contract given to some guy in London, actually, oddly enough, for the CVP-1 app. So they're flying illegals into the swing states.
Yeah.
And if you've got like a margin of victory of maybe 20,000 people, and you fly 200,000 illegals into that state, it's not going to be a swing state for long.
Change the numbers eventually.
Maybe
in 4 or 8 years, you're talking about perpetual
it's just a matter
power.
of time.
It's a long game.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
So it might take like a year for an asylum seeker or something to get
on the.
Can I answer your super chat? Sorry. Can we stop this before phase 2? Says Micro Kimmy. Sorry, I didn't see that, Kimmy. I do answer every single super chat. I just didn't see it. I was looking at Twitch for a second, trying to see how close I am to becoming an affiliate. I think that it's possible, Kimmy. I unfortunately think, though, the ball has already started rolling. It's going to be very difficult. I think the only way that we could possibly turn this around at this point is if our politicians were willing to help us to the same degree. I don't want to make you panic. I don't want to scare you. But I think we're headed in a direction. It's inevitable at this point that this country is going to have to learn their lesson. And elections have consequences. That's not to discourage you from protesting. Call your representatives. Do the things you need to do. But I'm not sure we can stop it at this point. We can try. I think there's a small chance we could. Maybe through using articles of impeachment. Things like that. But I have very little faith.
Get a green card in 5 years for the citizenship. It's an investment that is guaranteed to pay off.
Yeah.
Just a question of when.
They all remember who brought them in and who left them here.
Exactly.
I want to go back. I want to talk about.
Hey, thank you to everybody who's coming over from YouTube to drop a follow on Twitch. My Twitch is Adam Cray Media, one word, just my name and then media after it. So if you guys want to go over to Twitch really quick, don't leave YouTube, but go over to Twitch really quick. Leave a comment and a follow so I can break 1,000 followers. Every single person that's watching on YouTube, just go over to Twitch, hit follow if you are a Twitch person. And leave a comment. It helps.
Big deal. I think a lot of people don't quite appreciate that this was an actual real scam at scale to tilt the scales of democracy in America.
It's treason.
Yeah.
One more Biden question. I remember when they would do the electric car stuff, they would always try to box you out, even though you have the only electric car anybody wants. You said, I think this week, that you think that Biden left these astronauts up in space because he didn't want to give you an opportunity to save them.
So this is that other thing they're claiming, is that the reason those astronauts are stuck in space is because Biden, it was political. You know what the astronauts said? Not true. It's not political. It has nothing to do with Biden. That's not why we were left up here. And apparently Elon's going to bring them back, I guess. So let's listen to what he has to say here.
Them, make NASA look bad, make the private sector look better, make you look good. You believe that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, of course.
I kind of agree. Why would he want to let you help them come down when you're supporting the president?
The Biden administration was attacking me next level.
Yeah.
The Department of Justice, or Injustice under the Biden administration, they were suing SpaceX. They're suing SpaceX for not hiring asylum seekers. And we're like, but it's actually illegal for us to hire asylum seekers because rocket technology is covered under
ITAR rules, which means it's an advanced weapons technology.
Yeah.
And so we can only hire permanent residents or green or citizens.
Right.
Like so we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. And we sort of like so. How can they sue us for not hiring asylum seekers when it's actually illegal for us to do so? But nonetheless, there was a big Department of Justice or injustice case about this against SpaceX. So obviously it was an antagonistic situation. And those astronauts were supposed to be up there for 8 days, and now they're up there for 8 months. Does that make any sense? And we obviously could have brought them back sooner, but they didn't want anyone who supported President Trump to look good, basically.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
A lot of them are saying right now that the reason that you want to get into Social Security, that you want to get into all of these different, into Treasury and things like that, is that you're looking for personal information and you're trying to make more money.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody as rich as you that cared less about money in my life. Every time I hear a story about you, you're sleeping on a couch of some other guy in a city that you could buy the entire thing.
Yeah,
I don't think you care about money, do you?
No, actually,
How nice it must be to not care about money. How nice it must be to just not care about money. You got to be literally stupid to believe these guys have your best interest at heart. Good night, Autumn. Yeah, send it to me, Autumn.
I mean, listen, like if I steal some Social Security, I can finally buy nice things.
Yeah.
You know?
And on that same question, they're also talking about you guys are going to end Social Security, you're going to end Medicare, you're going to end these things. I don't imagine that conversation has been had with the president, and that's the plan.
No, in fact, the actions that we're taking with the support of the president and the support of the agencies is what will save Medicare, what will save Social Security.
Yeah.
And because if the country goes insolvent, if all the money is just spent on paying interest on debt, there's no money left for anything.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm doing this, is because I was looking at the big picture here, and it's like, man, our debt's getting out of control. The interest payments, the interest on the national debt now exceeds the entire Defense Department budget.
$1 trillion a year in
Yes.
interest, just to carry the money that we owe is $1 trillion a year.
Yes.
That is unbelievable.
And rising rapidly. So like, I mean, a country is no different from a person. Country overspends, country goes bankrupt. Same as a person who overspends goes bankrupt. So it's not like optional to solve these things. It's essential. So
we're going to go bankrupt.
Yes,
we are. Couple minutes left here. Russia. There's a huge push from the administration.
Yeah. People are like sometimes like
to end this war.
Say like,
yeah.
You know, I'm a bought asset of Putin.
Yeah.
I'm like,
wait a second, chat. We did a poll on this earlier. Let's do it again really quick. I want my chat's opinion. Is Elon a Russian asset? Is Elon a Russian asset? Go, blow this poll up. Blow this poll up. Let's go, baby.
He can't
Give me your opinion.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think about it.
I like that. So, you're trying to end a war. Ending a war always means you have to compromise, you have to negotiate with an enemy or an adversary. That's just what it is. And right now, they are lambasting the president for trying a different method to a war that they haven't been able to end for 3.5 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
They're saying Trump's blaming Zelensky for the invasion. How do you process all of the?
For the people on Twitch, I'm also on YouTube. My name is Adam Cray on YouTube. I had to do Adam Cray Media over here because somebody had my name. So Adam Cray on YouTube is where we do the poll.
Negativity toward him.
My main channel is on YouTube. If you want to support on YouTube, I'm trying to become an affiliate on Twitch so I can simulcast. But my main channel is YouTube and Substack.
Trying to end this war.
Well, first of all, I think we should have empathy for the people dying at the front lines. That's the most important thing. And people have been dying, you know, it's like, how many more years is this supposed to go on?
Yeah.
And imagine if that was your son, your father. What are they dying for?
Yeah.
What exactly are they dying for? That line the line of engagement has barely moved for 2 years.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people dead in trenches for what? And I'll tell you what for what. It's like for the biggest graft machine that I've ever seen in my life. That's for what. It's unreal. Like the amount of money that is being taken in graft and bribery is disgusting. And so what's actually happening is that those poor guys are getting sent into a meat grinder for money. That's what's actually going on.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop.
And it seems, Trump is so pragmatic on this. He's just looking at it and he's saying, it's Ukraine, it's not our country, it's not a NATO ally. I just want to see people not dying. I want to see on both sides. Think about how so many young men have died in Ukraine that the army is starting to age out. The military is aging out. You got 40 and 50-year-old guys fighting in a war because there's nobody left that's not killed or maimed in their 20s.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. Think about how many people that is. If you're a humanitarian at all, you just got to end the war. No matter what. Just get it over with.
Yes, they need to stop dying.
Yeah.
And the grift machine's got to stop, So, and I think a lot of people out there don't realize, the president has a lot of empathy. He really cares, He's a good man.
Oh, my God. Now they're trying to convince us Trump has empathy. Oh, God, they must think we're stupid. They must actually think we're dumb.
And I think a lot of people out there don't realize, the president has a lot of empathy. He really cares, He's a good man. So
I got one more for you. I've been fascinated by you for a very long time.
Thanks.
That's fucking weird. You've been fascinated by this? Dude, I'm sorry to say this, if you're fascinated by Elon, your life must suck. Your life must be sad. If you are fascinated by Elon, that's a spectacular level of suck. Seriously, holy shit. Fascinated by Elon? God damn.
I've never seen anybody that can, do so many things at the same time. You've got the rockets.
Get a room together. Holy shit. Could you kiss his ass anymore?
You got the cars. I've always wanted to ask you, what is it like inside your mind? Is it just 1,000 miles an hour? Are you...
Stupid. That's how.
Yeah.
Elon is the smart guy's dumb guy. No, he's the dumb guy's smart guy. Sorry, backwards. He's the smart guy for stupid people. He's the smart guy for simpletons who think that he, invented these things and doesn't have really intelligent people around him. He's the dumb guy's smart guy.
Is it just not... does it ever stop? Do you sleep? How much do you sleep? What's... paint us a picture of inside of the mind of a genius. How do you do all this? Can you answer that question? It's not an easy question. Yeah.
My mind is a storm.
Yeah.
Birdie, thank you for the $1.39 super sticker. Appreciate you, Birdie.
So, it's a storm. But let me maybe tell you something. You didn't ask the question, but I think it's worth nonetheless, maybe just elaborating on something, which is, I grew up in South Africa, but my morality was informed by America. I read comic books, played Dungeons and Dragons, and I watched American TV shows, and it seemed like America cared about being the good guys, about doing the right thing. And that's actually pretty unusual, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like
in the world, it's very unusual.
It's not actually...
Most countries don't do that.
No, they don't.
No.
And so I was like, you want to be this good, you want to be on the side of good, you want to care about what's right, Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, you're on the right side of history, all right. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to answer because he's not. He's not on the right side of history. He's on the wrong side. The sad part is the people who win write the history books, and I don't think they're ever going to let us get back in power again. I'm serious. I hate to say this. I do not think these people are going to let us get in power ever again. This election was so important to make sure that these guys did not win and people stayed home. They didn't vote. Although I'm starting, I'll admit, to believe that there may have been some nefarious activity that went on during this election, and I will get into that in the coming weeks. I have some problems. Not that I have proof. I don't have proof. But I don't think that being the bigger person and saying that I think this election was upstanding matters anymore. They're trying to overthrow the government. And I'm going to be completely honest, I think there were some weird things that may have happened here. I really do. Something's not right. Something is going on.
What I believe in, you know. So
I gave you a tough one at the end.
yeah. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. Elon Musk.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Hey guys.
Why do you have sunglasses on inside, you little weirdo? Remember when you said, USA! USA! I hate you, dude. I literally can't stand you. Oh my God. Look at the axe. I don't know, folks. We're coming to the end. Look, I'm going to go have some White Castle burgers, frozen. I bought them. I'm going to eat because I love food. It's one of the few things that brings me joy during this awfully stressful time we're living in right now. But what I will say to you is find joy in the little things. Turn on TV shows. By the way, if you guys have not seen the Gabby Petito Netflix documentary, I discussed it this morning on the live this morning. Go back and rewatch this morning's live. We discussed the Gabby Petito documentary. Really good if you're interested in true crime. They did a really good job of explaining some of the details we didn't know prior. I just want to say I love you. Thank you to everyone who participated, everyone who dropped a super chat, everyone who became a member. I appreciate you all. Seriously, thank you to all of you who really support my content. I love you so much. I really appreciate you so much. I wish I could even explain to you how much I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. I love you. I need you. I can't do this without your support. And I hope you have a wonderful night. Take care of yourself. And I will see you tomorrow morning on Substack for Coffee with myself. Coffee with Adam, right? And we will then go on YouTube at some point right after. I don't think there's a night live tomorrow because I have to do something with my son, but we'll definitely be live for hours tomorrow on Substack and then on YouTube. So make sure you join Substack. Become a subscriber over there. Appreciate you supporting my written content as much as you support my live content. I go live over there too, but still. I love you guys. We'll get through this together, okay? We'll get through this together. We'll do this together. We'll be together during the darkest moments of these next 4 years. And we'll make it. We'll make it together, as ugly as it is. As ugly as it is. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow morning on Substack. And then we'll go on YouTube right after. Okay? Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy yourself. Go to bed. Go to sleep. Get some rest. You have to get rest. All right? It's very important. Get some rest. Love you. Take care.